Okay.
And I'll upload it after. Okay, this is for later, okay? Victor.
Okay.
That's for the end of afterwards. Okay, we're ready to start, right? So what do you have to say?
Here's Yitzchak. Yitzchak, you have nice glasses. He has new glasses coming.
Okay. Okay. Now the question is also I had purchased some right. So you see that?
Where did you put my phone?
Thank you so much.
Halas, zeu.
Should be next week.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Sounds Like Shabbos. Shabbos Nachmu, the sounds of MENZELEFSKY's AUFRUF. Normally, you know, one of the reasons why we do the Sounds Like Shabbos is, as Herschel Tenenbaum used to say, Davenen ich kennen daheim. And now we can add, I guess, that lernen we kennen daheim too. But what's missing is the chance to say L'chaim, the chance to say Mazel Tov, and that's where the programming is hopefully able to add that to it, and you can all enjoy the sounds of Shabbos and sounds really of the shul on Shabbos that we're missing, and that's why we're here today. Since it's the last program of the summer, even though I'm getting a lot of the credit for ABC, I really don't deserve all the credits. All the people who've appeared over the last 16 plus weeks who are here, and the list is long, so I'm going to divide it. I'm going to start first with the list of the solo acts who've appeared on Sounds Like Shabbos. Sure. Rabbi Yosef Levy, Mr. Ari Lightman, Mr. Itcha Bergman, Mr. Bubus Lotnick, Mr. Yaakov Horowitz, no, not that Yaakov Horowitz, Mr. Moshe Simon, Mr. Shlomi Goldreich, and Mr. Rabbi Moshe Blausting. Also, I'd like to thank for the laning every week, Mayor Tenenbaum and Avi Ox for laning the Megillah Srusan Shavuos. Anyway, I'm going to turn my camera on because I'm on location. And I'm here at a different oil. 2 years ago, I had a chance to travel with the MENZELEFSKY boys to the oil. And at that time, if I remember correctly, Akiva was not married. Yitzchak was going to get married. Eli was married. Heshi was not even on the horizon, and Moshe was married. So 2 MENZELEFSKYs got married since then. Plus cousin Avi MENZELEFSKY also got married. Plus, my son Ephraim also got married. What's that? I'm not. What I'm saying to you, obviously, an oil brings good luck. There are a different oil, but at that time, they sang a beautiful nigun, Kah Ribon. It's a perfect way to start with.
They have the tent here.
Yes, the same Kah Ribon, you sang that at the oil Friday night, which I'm sure is unusual to be heard at the oil now. You'll sing now again. Go ahead.
Yo, I don't know if he's coming. Yeah. The AUFRUF.
Absolutely terrific. Moshe Menzelefsky, Heshi Menzelefsky, Eli Menzelefsky, Yitzchak Menzelefsky, and Akiva Menzelefsky. If you take their initials, it ends up something like Emtsoi, I think. But for now, until you think of a better name, it's the St. Germaine's Men's Choir. Do with it what you will. But you join an illustrious list of families and brothers who have performed on sounds like Shabbos, including Bnei Levi, Ach Sameach, featuring Yisrael and Menachem Simon, and Garfunkel, Duvi and Avi Menzelefsky, Shneur Akoinen and Svi Botnick, Chaim and Eitan Rubin, Yumi and Dini Zlotnick, Label Storch and the Weiser family, and did I say Ach Sameach again? Ach Sameach were terrific. Anyway, at this time, I asked the Rov to introduce their uncle from Florida.
First, Mazel Tov to Heshi, Mazel Tov to Yaini, Mazel Tov to the martyrs, and Mazel Tov to Mr. Menzelefsky, and to Rabbi Horowitz and the whole family. And we have a schus, we can't be at the AUFRUF personally, but that's why we have the Zoom to be able to, sounds like Shabbos, that at least it sounds like the AUFRUF, and it was so nice to see all the Menzelefsky boys. It was like many summers to be together with all of them and learn with all of them. And Baruch Hashem, it's a beautiful simcha. And the Rosh Mishpacha, Rabbi Ephraim Leizersohn, who put up this big moised in Miami, who changed the whole scene of Miami with the girls, with the changing homes and building homes. Baruch Hashem, Ephraim Leizersohn, who comes from a family of Torah and Harbatzah Torah. And he's not here personally, but being on Zoom is like he's being here. So we'll have a discuss there. Leizersohn is going to be manos for the mishpacha, b'shem mishpacha, and b'shem the whole kehillah.
Shkoyach, B'shus the Rov, and all those listening or watching. First off, as the Rov said, want to give special mazel tov to the chassan, Heshi. My entire family is trying with varying degrees of success or not success of coping with the idea that they're not there in person. Every simcha that the Menzelefsky Mishpacha has and the Leizersohn family has was united as one. We spent so many Yom Tovim together. We spent so many simchas together. And I know I really had some difficulty having to deal with certain members of my family because they're upset about that. But my friend Rabbi Shetuvia Leaf yesterday, he was speaking on the Tisha B'Av program. He said over a Maisa about a kid who was they were showing simonim of being a genius as a little kid. At a very young age, he was a big expert Lego player. And when he was older and they sent him away to yeshiva, they figured he was the big Ilui, he was going to come home, mamish ligging and learning and all that. And he came home and the first thing he did, he ran to his Lego set to show how great he is on the Lego, and he built all this complicated Lego stuff, and they were so disappointed. That's not what life is. We taught you, he said, I thought you were so proud of my Lego. He said, no, that was then. That Lego was important for you then when you were 2 years old, but now you're supposed to be a Ben Torah. So I was trying to paraphrase Rabbi Shtov. I just called him before to tell him this, that, this is an AUFRUF of Heshi Menzelefsky. He's a Chash V'Bacher, and he's did a very nice shidduch, and Baruch Hashem, everybody in the family is healthy, and everybody is together, whether in person or on Zoom, so it's great. So even if you're not there, just understand what's important about the simcha. It's not a Lego game, and it's the simcha, the pure simcha of Heshi's AUFRUF is paramount in everyone's mind. And I don't know if I convinced anybody, but that's really the plain truth. I want to give a special mazel tov to Heshi, Yoni, and Ali. So much part of our lives and good times and not always such great times. And we feel so close and we feel that we miss being there, but we understand Yoni and Ali, Batzliach, and raising such a wonderful mishpacha of the boys and Chani and their daughters-in-law, and now the new daughter-in-law did such a nice shidduch with the martyr mishpacha. Mazel tov to the martyr mishpacha, who I haven't been zeicha to meet yet, I don't think. If I did, maybe said shalom aleichem to him, not knowing who I was talking to. And special mazel to the grandparents, Reb Shalom and Mrs. Horowitz, special mazel tov. And we should always be together in person for all the simchas as this couple is zeicha to build a bayis ne'eman b'Yisrael. I found out this morning, I was in my office in school, and I was actually finishing the parsha, the Commission Rashi just heard. Brian calls me up and says, they're having a virtual AUFRUF of some sort. And I was never at a virtual AUFRUF. And I didn't know. I said, okay, fine, very nice. You're speaking at 5 o'clock. I said, I'm not speaking at 5 o'clock. I'm not speaking. I don't know what to say out of virtual. I don't know who I'm speaking to. Anyway, they put me on the program, and I was at a pasuk right there. I was at a pasuk, and I think this pasuk, which I was just staring at when she called, touches up, I think, the Menzelefsky mishpacha, maybe to a T. At the end of the parasha, Moshe Rabbeinu says, "Lo meirubchem mikol ha'amim, choshak Hashem b'chem, vayifcha b'chem." Hashem didn't choose you, didn't desire you and choose you because you're the greatest, the biggest of all the nations, quantitatively. So Rashi says over there, Lo meirubchem, on the Rashi, Kipshutai. You're not the biggest nation, numbers-wise. Tens of millions of people, hundreds of millions of people are in other nations. You're not the biggest nation. You're from the smallest nation. You're the smallest nation. Hashem didn't pick you because of your size. Size doesn't really matter. The quantity and how many people are in the nation is not the main thing. Hashem loves you. He chose because he avas Hashem estem. That's the first plan, Rashi. Kipshutai. Then he says, and I'll find it again. I lost it again. And I think this plain portion of Pshat and the Pasuk and in Rashi touches up the Menzelefsky family. Yes, it's true. In the first place, it's not the biggest family in numbers. Sometimes you see a whole clan, they come together for a simcha. They have hundreds of people coming from Iris, and it's wonderful, cousins and aunts and uncles, and everyone's there. And it's mamish, they pack the house, and it's beautiful. It's hopefully coming from this shidduch, from Heshi and Chavi, it'll be the same thing. But the Menzelefsky family is a small family in numbers. It's not tiny. There are, I know, smaller families, but it's smaller numbers. That's one thing. And furthermore, they are mimayat themselves. This goes back to my shver, Olav Shalom, and my shviga. She should be well. I don't know if she's watching now, but if she is, hello, shviga. And they had a lot of good things happen to them in their life. They had children, grandchildren. They were matzliach. They were happy, but they was always mimayat. Though they were a small family in numbers, and they were a family of quality, but in quantity, I'm sorry, they were a small family, but in quality, they were very, very big. They had big ideals. They raised children to think of the right things, to have the right hashkafa, to work on, to have the right midas, and the right sense of scale of values. Yoini and Ali passed this on to their family, and Baruch Hashem, we're also proud of them. We really wish we could be there live, obviously, for the Simcha. I'm speaking for myself, for Brina, and for all our children. And Mitzvah Hashem, next time we will, and we're with you in spirit. And we only hope that you will be Zoicha to build a Bayis Never Israel for 120 years with Aliyas and Ruchnias and Gashmias, and only bracha and understanding, following in this special quality of the Menzelefsky family, and I'm Yaini Ali gets it from Hamishpacha as well, and we should all be Zoicha to have only simchas together until we merit the coming of Mashiach. Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi Leizersohn, for inspiring words. If you were here, I would have hoped to have heard it also live. Before I call on Shlomi Goldreich, we're going to skip a little bit ahead of the program because we'd like to finish at the prescribed time. So I'm going to call on Shlomi Goldreich. If he's here, Victor, if you can find him, he's going to call up the Chusin with a Gezinta Yaaaaaamod, which one of the sounds of shul that we certainly miss. But before we call that Chazan up, I want to list those Chazanim who have appeared on our program over the last 16 weeks. We'll start with Shlomo, Reb Shlomo Cohen Weiss, Shlomo Simcha, Shlomo Karlbach, Shlomi Goldreich, Cantor Aaron Ben Susan, Cantor Chaim Freud, and of course, Baruch Levine. I'd also like to thank the Gaboim and the administrators of the Zoom program, Benny Feintoch, Avigdor Hyman, and Yossi Simon, and everybody else who helped out on the occasion. David Kleiner also with his suggestions as to who to get. So Shlomi, if you're on, let me hear Yaaaaaamod.
Do you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Okay. To everyone, and we'll try our best here with a little bit of hoarse, but other than that, we're fine, Baruch Hashem. And the most stuff to everybody. Here we go. Yaaaaaamod, habocher chosen arn tzvi, ben Rabbi Yehuda Leivish, maftir chazak.
The Chazak, I think, just exceeded your record by about 0.2 seconds. You're ready for the Shepzel Kanarik Award for sure. Also, I'd like to thank all the sponsors throughout all the weeks and all the people who tune in, and mostly, of course, the Rov, who has not missed one program, one episode. At this time, Moshe Stern, if you can call up make the announcements, and then it will be followed by Tehillim from the Rov and his divrei bracha.
Please forgive me for the noise background. There's a lot of children in this house. Can I hear? Second. Kiddush the Shabbos is sponsored by the MENZELEFSKY family in honor of the AUFRUF and the upcoming chasna of HESHIS MENZELEFSKY to Chavi martyr. May the Zecha to build the bayis name of Yisrael and the chasna be'itay b'zmanay b'mekoymoy, as well as by Mr. and Mrs. Dudi and Penny Zimmerman, Leilu Nishmas, Sarah Cyril, Vazaharan Chanech HaKoyen Mandelbaum, whose yard site is Boy B'yoyim on Shabbos. The Shabbos Mincha is at 7 o'clock. Pirkei Avos will be Perek Gimel. During the week, Mincha will be at 6:55. Motzei Shabbos, the Daf Yomi, Danny Finkelstein will be at 10:15 on Channel A, and Yossi Simon at 10:30 on Channel B. The last night for Kiddush Levana is Monday evening. Have a good Shabbos.
Thank you, Mesh.
Victor, if you want to share the screen, I just want to remind everybody as well that if they want to send messages to the family, to please take advantage of the chat feature and send your messages. The family will be getting a copy. Thank you.
Shir Amalois Mamakim Krasicha Adonai. Adonai Shema Bekoili. Yenazaka Shubais Lakal Tachnonai. Mavainai Sishmaya. Adonai Miyama Ikim Chaslicha. Visi Adonai Kipsa Nafshi. Ledvara Echaltin. Nafshi Adonai Mishaimim Labaiker. Shaimim Labaiker. Yachel Israel Adonai. Kiman Chesed v'arbei ma'ay pedos v'yivdes Yisrael v'koil havay noisav. Maskil David v'yoisai v'amaras v'lo koili el Adonai azak koili el Adonai eschano neshbul l'panav sichi tziros l'panav agid v'sad l'rok v'atay dat tzvasi v'yachzalech tom l'pachli Abay Germaine Veili Makir, Abadmanos Bimani, Dorsha Nafshi, Saklach al Naimat Max, Helki Veretzakayim, Akshimanosik is Loismaid, Hatzlemeroid, Vigam to many, Timas Ganam Shoidas, Shmecha, be active Sadikim, Kisigma, Kanaka Base Israel, and as soon as Matsan Ship, you I'm the baby on Ben Mosha, Amakim Nachmalayim, Yatzim, it's sort of the Rocha. Well, I'm ship to go out calls my car even I'm not maybe Shbech saying Abraham Isaac. My Shan to show me work with Rabbi as Chaim Dove and Krangle as David Ben Simon, the Amitov Etel, as Shom Yosef Ben Hendel, Yitzchok, Ben Hodofega, as Mordechai Beleim, as Yehuda Ben Rivka, as This week, Shabbos Nachmu, it's always, we're in the middle of Golus, we're still in Golus, and we're all so happy that Shabbos Nachmu, that Nachmu Ami Yomer Lekeichem, we're in Golus. How could we have Nechama? How? What's our Nechama? That we're here in the Golus and we celebrate, and we know even the afternoon of Tisha B'Av, it's also more Yontiv and Moyed. But the Nechama is that we believe and we have betochen in the Rabbi Shalom b'menachem us. We have betochen, and that's the lokcha b'keflaim. The Klal Yisrael was double punishment, and now the Nechama is b'keflaim. What's the Nechama is b'keflaim? The biggest Nechama is, first of all, that we're still here. We could have an AUFRUF. We could have an AUFRUF in the middle of Corona. In the middle of everything that's going on, in the middle of our golus. And look, people are going ahead and having simchas and making simchas and happy any kind of simcha, even though it's not the way, but it should be nicer if everyone's together. Still, the simcha Baruch Hashem. So the biggest nechama is that we are here. We have simchas. With Brian Shalom, Am Yisrael Chai, we still have Klal Yisrael together. Yomer Elokeichem. Hashem says, Ami, you're my Am. That's a double nechama. The double nechama is that even in Golus, Shechionu v'Kimonu. So the Nesiva says the stup Shechionu means that we're living spiritually. V'Kimonu means we're living physically. The double nechama is that we're living physically. That there's still Yidden after all the Golus. We're 1950 years after the Churban Beis Hamikdash. Chassam Sofer every year used to say, we should remember how many years we're in Golus. 1950 years, almost 2,000 years. And look, we went through all crusades, we went through Inquisition, we went through the Holocaust, we went through all kinds of pogroms. Look, we're here. Nachmu. The Nachmu that we're still from. There's still from a Yidden in the world. There's still a family like the MENZELEFSKY family. MENZELEFSKY family were the first ones, and Agudah, especially Agudah, Willie and his brother Ruby, they were from the ones who set up the whole Kehillah, set up what we have in Toronto. From these people were Moise Nefesh, who grew up in a time when there was a spiritual Holocaust in Canada and America. And they were saved, the She'eres HaPleita from the spiritual. So Nachmu is the physical, Nachmu the spiritual, that we have both things together. In this week's Perek, it says, Kol shuruach habriyas noichem ruach mokem noichem. Anyone that people have hanor from them and appreciate them, the Rebbe Shalom has hanor from them. Kol she'ein ruach habriyas noichem ein ruach mokem noichem. So there's two pshatim to understand the Mishnah. One, that Mishnah is teaching us that a person has to be noyach. Noyach, the Eilatol is noyach. The briyos and noyach l'makayim. When is the Rabbi Shalom happy with you if you're also noyach l'briyos? If you're not noyach l'briyos, a person is not noyach l'briyos, then ein ruach hamakom noyach l'manu. But there's other pshat also. If you see a person that people are happy with him, is a simon that Rabbi Shalom is happy with him, and that's the way it says in the opposite of Nasan. Kol shuruach hamakom noyach l'manu, ruach habriyos noyach l'manu. Kol she'ein ruach hamakom noyach l'manu, ein. In the Pasha we have, this Pasha is the Pasha of Krishma, we say every day, you show love to Rabbi Shalom. How do you show love to Rabbi Shalom? So the Gemara says, Sheshem Shemayim Misav Al Yotcha. You should, if you love somebody, you want others to love him also. You should make others want to love the Rabbi Shalom. Be Mekadosh Shemayim with your actions. Be Shekara B'Shona. Someone learns. And Shimish Talmid Chachamim. Masor Matonim Be'emuna. He does his business Erlich. Debur Nachas Mabriyos. And he talks nice to people. Then a person like that, look, Toiv Melam de Torah. Look at them, Melam de Torah. Look at his Manoi Masav, Manon Drochav. Look how beautiful his actions are. Heshi Menzelefsky is someone you could say that. Ma'anoim Drachav, look at the Ruach Korah B'Shana learning and Ehrlichkeit, with the Ehrlichkeit, the Midas Toivus that he got from his family, from Yaini and Ali, what they put into the family, every child, the Midas Toivus, the Ehrlichkeit, the love of Torah. Sheheim Ruach Habriyas Noichameni. So then Ruach HaMakom Noichameni. The Mis'ah Hashem Shemayim Mis'ah V'Yotcha. Rabbi Shalom's name. When you see every one of the boys, every one of the in the MENZELEFSKY family, every one of them, you see Ruach Habriyas Noichamekim, Ruach HaMakom. That's what they got from Willie Zechariah Rocha and the Badal, his wife. Always, every time, Willie, the picture of Willie is always with a big smile. Shem Shemayim. Remember when he couldn't come for a while to shul, and then he came to shul. The simcha he had coming, he was able to come back to shul after so long not coming. The simcha that he had coming, and the simcha to be able to be able to do mitzvahs and to love, and that's the same thing. Shalom Horowitz and his wife, the whole mishpacha, that the mishpacha, the love of singing to Rabbi Shalom, the love of davening, love of helping people, with the help that Shalom does for people, and what Ali does in the school and all over, and Yoni does all over, just having them in the Smedrish for Agudah, it's a big pride to have them in our family. And Baruch Shem, the Rabbi Shem helped Matzaminas Minai, the Marder Mishpacha, the famous Marder Mishpacha, Herschel Marder, is Azang is Interstark, and then Moshe and the whole family. They are people who Shem Shemayim is Ava Yotcha, where they're always, their actions in every way as Shem Shemayim is Ava Yodam. Rabbi should help that Heshi and Chavi should build a home just like their parents' home, and that's why you make a AUFRUF on Shabbos, that you're calling up. That this week will be the chassan and the brachas of Shabbos should go when they go down to the chuppah, all the bracha, like the Zohar Kodesh says, that kol brachos, every bracha of the week comes from Shabbos, and it comes from Torah. That's the Aliyah, the Torah, you get the Aliyah, and the Aliyah, the Torah is to remember, look what the chashivas of Torah, but together with the Torah, it goes together hand in hand, and that's what we have the Seres Dibros this week, that we have two sides of the Dibra, two Dibras. One divrei is the divrei of Ben Adam L'Makar, second Ben Adam L'Chaveira. To tell us they go together. You don't have one, you don't have the other. You need the Ben Adam L'Chaveira, Ben Adam L'Makar together. That's what you find, Baruch Hashem, in the Mishpach. I'm sure hope that Simchas Nachmu Ami. And I want to thank Akiva.
Is this mine?
Everything possible. We all have simchas together, and we should be zoicha. The Rabbi Shalom will say, "Nachmu, Nachmu, Ami Yom Elokeichem." We should say the Korav, and that's always coming out with Parshat V'Schanan, like Rashi brings on in the beginning of the Parshat V'Schanan, means that even though tzaddikim could ask Rabbi Shalom to help them, but we only ask Loshen Chinam. We ask Rabbi Shalom, even though ein masim b'yadenu, Rabbi Shalom should help that we should be zoicha. Look at Kah Yisrael. Kah Yisrael, no matter what. We were learning in the rooms, we were learning at home, running the Beis Medrash, doing everything. Look at what products we have here in Canada, product like Heshi and Chavi and Baruch Hashem, after all the Tzoros, after all the physical Holocaust and spiritual Holocaust. So here's the Rabbi Shalom, the Loshen Tachnunim, Nachmu, say Nechomet to us, being the Beis HaGoyel B'Meher B'Yemeinu, Amen. Mazel Tov, the Chuppah should be B'Shotov B'Mitzlachas, should go down the Chuppah B'Shotov B'Mitzlachas, and we should be zoichet. There should be a bias that should be the shechina should be shoyer b'zoichet. Ruach habriyas noichamen, ruach hamakom noichamen, and should zoichet only see simchas in their home, in Yoni and Ali's home, and the MENZELEFSKY home, and the Horowitz home, and the Marder home, and should all be zoichet to see the Gula b'meir b'yemeinu. And have a good Shabbos, all of you.
Shabbos.
Good Shabbos, shkoyach.
There he goes. Thank you. Good Shabbos. I should go ahead and say thank you to the Rov.
Thank you very much. Good Shabbos.
Okay. Thank you. Mirz Hashem, we will return in one capacity. If it doesn't sound like Shabbos Yerushalayim, if we're not there the next time we're on, then we'll prepare for Tafshin Pei Aleph. Thank you very much, everybody. Big yeshkoyach to the Rov and to all of you who've tuned on a regular basis. Thank you.
Good Shabbos.
Shabbos.
Shabbos, everyone. Shabbos, Yaini. Shabbos.
Shabbos.
Shabbos Yaini.
No.